Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Superpower Review, the show that brings you news and reviews on comic book related things. As always, I'm your host, Ken Vidinia, and we have another awesome episode for you guys. Today, as promised, we're having again Steve Cline from the Comic Book Fiend Club, my chapter president and the vice president of the Comic Book Fiend Club. And he's gonna do another awesome statue review for us today. So welcome, Steve Cline. How's it going, buddy?
What's up, man? Glad to be back.
Glad to be back. That's awesome. It's always a pleasure having you on the show because you always show us jaw-dropping things. So what are we looking at today?
Today we got a new statue that I just got in a couple of weeks ago. This is the Prime One Studios Arkham Knight Scarecrow statue.
Nice. Wow. Amazing already. Look at that.
Yeah, so this one is one that I really looked forward to. This is my favorite design of the character. A lot of the Arkham games, a lot of the character designs is my favorite for each character, but this one right here, man, this one just really stands out. I think it just looks completely gnarly. This thing is 32 inches tall. It is 16 inches wide and 9 inches deep.
Wow.
So I pre-ordered this one maybe a year and a half ago, and I just got it, I want to say maybe at the beginning or about mid-September, towards the end of September is when I got this one in.
Absolutely amazing. Wow.
So this is based off the Scarecrow design for the video game Batman Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
We'll start at the base. This is a
those.
much smaller base. These bases are meant to connect to one another. If you follow the entire line, they're meant to be like the top of a rooftop in Gotham.
Oh, okay.
So each, including Two-Face, Harley Quinn, they'll each have a base similar to this that kind of has an open end on both sides, and you can kind of piece them together and create like a whole scene together.
Right, right. Those look very... Wow, look at that. It reminds me of Spawn a little bit, actually.
Yeah, for sure. Couple of his ghouls. That's what's going on in the base for the design. They stick out. They look awesome. You can see the noose rope tied out at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
What I also like about this base is a lot of his theme for Arkham Knight was kind of shown off with an orange type tone to it.
Yeah.
So you can see the flame rising above in Gotham, and it's showed here in this statue with the orange running through it. You can see the orange behind the gate there. It fits the character and what he was trying to accomplish in the video game. So I thought that was a nice touch to put that in the statue itself. And if you spin this one around, you should see the bat emblem that's on all the Batman Arkham pieces on the back of the bases. It kind of brings them all together.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, is his jacket is that sculpted or is that fabric as well?
That is sculpted.
Oh, so this is sculpted. Okay.
That is a sculpted piece. It's not exactly polystone. I believe it's more of a PVC type material. And I believe that was because of the way they packaged it. I think they were too afraid of it breaking off. So they made it a little bit more durable material as far as his jacket goes. And what's cool about the Scarecrow design, and I think Prime One nailed it, is it shows the history and the evolution of the character in the game. If you remember in Arkham Asylum, he got taken out by Killer Croc. He got pretty much eaten in the sewer, and he's come back with, and you can see his leg brace, you can see the mechanics of it, all the straps, the buckles. I think that's a pretty cool little design that they added into it. You can see he's got his boots on. You can see dirt speckles on his boot. You can see the tongue sticking out. You can see a little bit of his flesh there. Bandages all running up his leg where he's been beaten up. Not a real physical character, but you can definitely tell he's been in an encounter.
You definitely can tell he's gotten messed up by Batman.
You can see all the stitching into the pants. You can see all the tubing running out from underneath his jacket up. that fits all the colanders there, that has his fear toxin, his belt. He's actually connected two halves. So the way this part works is the first half, the legs, key into the statue, and then you put his jacket on, and then you'll put the top half of the statue on. So he should have pouches running on the side of his jacket all the way behind him.
It's just amazing how detailed, like, you know, the talent that goes into making these.
It's really crazy. I mean, just to think about hand painting this.
I know.
Just running through and hand painting each one of these.
I know. That boggles my mind.
So, yeah, I mean, you can see all the crazy detail. You can see all the dirt, the grime that's on all these cylinders, all hand painted on, all the detail in the straps, the orange tint running through the tubes. Come down his arm, you can see all the stitching, folds in the jacket, creases. You can see on his hand kind of turning green, dirt, grime, the fear toxin. It's all starting to get to the little Scarecrow a little bit.
Now, you know, how much does this statue go for now?
The statue, I believe, was $929.99 at the time of pre-order.
Okay.
Oh
yeah,
this is a cool detail. This is one of the things I really like about this character design is the syringes he has, and the glove that fits on his hand with the syringes that he can inject people with his fear toxin.
Look at that. Look at all that. Now, is that all sculpted, or are those actual metal pieces?
Those are metal pieces.
Wow, that's still amazing. That's absolutely insane. All the work. So that's got to be such tedious work.
I think that's why you wait so long to get them in, is because, I mean, it kind of stinks that you have to wait that long, but you forget all about that once you start to open these up, start to look at the detail, you start to really appreciate what exactly went into making this statue. And the weight that went with it doesn't matter anymore. Like even that, the small little detail that shows where he manufactured the glove at, where he got it from, just pretty cool stuff.
Now, I'll ask you the same questions. Is there anything about this statue that you dislike or you thought would be, a little bit better?
I was hoping the orange would stick out a little bit more. This isn't Prom 1's fault, but the character himself, the design for Arkham Knight Scarecrow, is just a lot of brown, a lot of gray, a lot of dark. I was kind of hoping maybe a little bit of different color variation, something to make it really stand out. Yeah. And the orange works, but I don't know. I was hoping for just a little bit more color, I guess.
I see what you mean. Like there's so much dark going on. There's so much gray, brown, black. I see what you mean. I understand.
You can see the tubes running up his shoulder. Yeah. He's got a little piece of rope right there. It's kind of strung up to keep it intact. You can see the noose tied around his neck, the gas canister, his mask, and then you can see the detail in the head sculpt.
I think that's the best part of the whole statue right there.
Yeah, his eyes, the stitching on his mouth. I mean, it's pretty sick.
Now, what are the things that you absolutely love about this statue?
The head sculpt, the stitching, the way it comes off the hood, all that. I think that's top notch. That's some of their best work right there. And honestly, just the little small details, like all the orange running through the base there, I think that helps it make it stand out a little bit more. The knee brace, the leg brace itself. I like the attention to detail that they paid for this character because it is my favorite design of the character. You don't get too many Scarecrow statues at all, so to be able to get one this well detailed with this much attention to it was definitely worth it.
Now, is this statue still available, or is this completely sold out?
The exclusive is sold out. The regular is still available. The exclusive for this statue is actually something a little bit different that you don't see that often. So normally when you have a statue and you have an exclusive, it's an exclusive part for that statue. For this one in particular, they had a different Batman portrait that went on the Batman Arkham Knight statue.
Oh.
And it was a fear toxin head that showed Batman all sick from the fear toxin, and that was something additional to put on your Batman statue. So some people loved that and was able to get an extra head because they owned that Batman statue, and then some people who didn't own the Batman statue didn't see the point in having that as the exclusive.
They're like, well, damn, now I got to get that Batman statue.
I'm sure that's what Prom 1 was hoping. So that was actually a big point of contention in the statue community whenever that was announced.
I can see the mixed feelings about that. I can understand that.
And that one is actually on my Batman statue as we speak.
Oh, okay, cool.
Here's some more canisters running on his back. You can see like a shoulder plate that he's got them harnessed into. I mean, there's just a lot of cool stuff on this statue. It's stuff that they didn't have to really do because it's the back of the statue, and a lot of people are going to display this, of course, face forward, but,
right.
You got to go the extra mile.
That's right, yeah.
All the tubing running into the back, stitching that's broke open, wide open because the tubing's going in.
That's cool.
That's just cool stuff.
It is. It's just the little stuff that really makes it so cool and so big. Now, Scarecrow, one of your top villains?
Yeah, definitely. I have a lot of respect for Scarecrow. A lot of Batman villains play off the physicality. Bane, Killer Croc. Scarecrow's more of a psychological threat. He takes smarts into a fight. He's not a real physical fighter. So, and to see him as the prominent villain, one of the prominent villains for Batman Arkham Knight, that was pretty cool. I like that they gave him that kind of a spotlight treatment.
I have to say that the Arkham Knight was my favorite rendition of the Scarecrow.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah,
definitely. I think they did a good job with that story and with the character in general.
Can you imagine if we saw something like this in a movie?
This would be terrifying.
It would be terrifying. It would be awesome.
I know. Let's make this happen.
Let's make it happen. This is, I think it would be way better to see this kind of version of Scarecrow, better than we saw in Nolan's trilogy.
I agree. I mean, he went for a more realistic look, but to put something like this on the big screen, yeah, that's going to go over real well. I think a lot of people would be down for that.
I think so. I would be down for that. So, Steve, as a tradition here on Superpower Review, we always like to give a CGC grade for our statues. What would you give this statue here?
Giving it a CGC 9.4.
9.4, okay. And why the 9.4?
I'm going to go slightly because of the color. I don't think there's enough breakup in the color itself, particularly at the bottom half of it. I know you see some stainless steel parts, but I mean, it's just a lot of dark brown, black, gray. Just sometimes the detail can get lost in that a little bit if you don't put enough color to break it up. You start to get a little bit of that at the top torso and above, but I don't know. Maybe you could have made the metal pieces a little bit shinier. Maybe you could have painted those up to maybe stick out a little bit. But still nice, still, minty, but 9.4 for me.
Or maybe even making his coat maybe even a little bit lighter?
Right. I mean, I think there was things you could have played with. I know, due to the character design, they may have felt restricted a little bit, but there was things there that could have been done, I think.
Definitely one of my favorite parts of the statue is definitely that arm and his face.
Yeah.
I love that arm. I've never said it before, but that's the most craziest, most beautiful arms I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I mean, and the face for me is definitely probably my favorite.
I know, look at that.
That's pretty sick.
It is pretty sick. It looks like he's snarling a little bit.
And you could, in his eyes, it's all glossed over. It's glossy looking with smoke in it almost. I mean, it's awesome.
Very awesome. Well, Steve, I think that's going to do it for this episode here. And I want to thank you for coming on yet again to showing off one of your fantastic pieces here.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to show off another statue. And Yeah, definitely recommend it. If you are into the character, definitely get you one for sure.
Now, if anybody wants to see more awesome Batman stuff that you have, how can they see some stuff like that?
You can catch me on Instagram. My tag is at the Bataholic. I post my entire collection, statue, comics, just random stuff that I enjoy. So if you're into this kind of stuff, definitely check me out on Instagram.
Well, thank you for being on, and that's going to do it for today's episode. Again, if you like this episode, don't be shy. Make sure you like the video, and if you want to see more content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like to be a potential guest like Steve Cline was today, if you have something cool and you want to show it off, please contact the show at superpowerreview9@gmail.com. Would love to have you on and see what you have. And that's going to do for today's episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys really soon.